Hey, this is Tigo. Welcome to Expert Talk. You guys know how we do. We bring in the experts and they share that great information. But if you're like me and you just survived 2020 and you're going, what the heck is 2021 going to bring? That's okay. I got somebody coming right here, coming up next, that's going to share a little light on what we may see in 2021. Cindy is here. She came to share. Hey, Cindy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to dive in with you today.
Ooh, I'm scared. I'm scared that you're gonna tell me I'm gonna be a farmer or something's gonna be crazy or we're gonna have to like make our own butter or something. I'm a little nervous. So let's before we dig into all of that, and I know you guys are excited to hear about it. Some people may not know who Cindy is. Who is Cindy Van Arnam? Let's talk about a little bit of your history. What do you do? Who are you? Where you at?
Sure. I'm a quantum numerologist and wealth activator. Most people go, what the heck does that mean? It means that I show you who you are, show you how to figure out what you want, and show you how to get it. So I come from a background of a virtual assistant and building websites and all the technology and all the pieces. And I started diving into numerology because I was miserable and I hated my life and I was upset. And I realized as I went through my own numerology that I wasn't meant to be working with technology. I had a bigger impact to make in the world, and it helped me to unfold my life path as a wealth activator and helping people really understand who they are and what they want.
Okay, you said a bunch of words that went right over half the people that are watching this. Wealth activator, numerologist. I mean, I'm learning. When you and I first met a few months ago, I went, huh, what, who? And my business partner said, get in there, go talk to her. She's awesome. And I have to admit, it has been fantastic to get the information that you shared. So before we go any further, let's answer the question. What's a wealth activator? What's a numerologist? What does all that stuff mean?
Yeah, numerology has this, I guess, concept that it's some magical woo-woo thing, and it's not. It's math. It's that simple. It is everything that we look at in our physical reality has a mathematical code, and we have the ability through the use of numerology to understand what that code is. So each human being has a code as well, and we have the ability to look at that code and understand who you are. What are some of your key sabotages? Where are you going to be most challenged? But also what's possible for you based on your mathematical code, and giving you the ability to kind of land into the possibilities for yourself.
Let's go deep. You're saying it's math.
Yeah.
I know you say that we're all born with a unique code.
Yeah.
And people are going, well, I have no barcode on my butt. It's not in my birth certificate. So what the heck do you mean? We all have a unique code. We all were born with this mathematical equation. What does all that mean?
Right. Yeah. And, the math behind it is really complicated. And so we just find a starting point. And the starting point is your date of birth. That gives us the ability to kind of hone in on one piece of your code. So we look at your full date of birth, the month, the year, and the day, and we add up all those numbers, and it gives you what we call a ruling number. And from there, there's so many different layers of information that we can delve into based on your ruling number, some of the patterns that you have in your chart, and all of those other pieces. I don't want to dive too far down the rabbit hole, but it's based on your date of birth.
So with that stated, we're going to talk about 2021. Everybody's anxious. Everybody wants to know what the heck is about to happen. What's coming up? Is it going to get better? Is it going to be worse? And, I don't believe in crystal balls. Neither do you.
No.
I don't have any, magic wand or anything from Harry Potter. I have Cindy, and she comes in with her mathematical equations, and she tells us, this is what the math is telling us. This is what the logic says. So I'm going to get out of the way. First quarter, do we do this by quarter? Do we do it by the whole year? How do you want to tackle this 2021 segment?
Yeah, I'm just going to lean into the key themes of 2021. I'm going to give a bit of a reflection on 2020 as well, so we can kind of understand where we've come from and where we're going. And I'm going to dive into a few key months that are going to be really integrative for us in 2021, just months to pay attention to.
Well, you guys know this is way outside my realm. I mean, I'm a creative, I'm a producer, I'm a super geek when it comes to computers. My mathematical equation is zeros and ones. That's because I'm a computer coder. So I'm going to sit here. I'll jump in from time to time, but let's let Cindy just do what she does. Enjoy.
All right, sounds good. So I want to start off by saying first and foremost that just like all people carry codes, so does each day, so does each month, so does each year. Now, there's lots of different layers to it, so I'm not going to dive in too much to the numbers themselves, but rather the themes and the energy that we're going to be experiencing. Just like we can predict the weather, just like we can predict the stock market, we can also predict the energetic influences that are going to be affecting us as we move ahead in uncertain times. So 2020 was a 4 energy year. Now the 4 is all about structure, stability, foundation, safety. And many of us did not feel that structure, foundation, safety, and stability in 2020 as our world blew up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But what the 4 was showing us is where the foundation was already crumbling. Our political system, our healthcare system, our educational systems, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of these systems were not working. We were so caught up in the busy do. We got to do a million things and go to all these events. And we were so scattered and out of touch with ourselves that the 4 energy of 2020 came in and said, I'm going to force you to get back in touch with yourself. So I'm going to bring in a pandemic and I'm going to make sure that all of these systems are exposed for how they're not working. And I'm going to make sure that you come back to the body, that you are focused inward, that you're focused on yourself. And so many people took the opportunity of COVID to come back home. And by home, I mean inside the body through meditation, yoga. There was a lot of different practices introduced that we were too busy to do before. And COVID came along and said, guess what? You can't go to work and be stressed out anymore. So sit your butt at home and put in some new routines. Now, some of those new routines involved Netflix binges and not eating well. And there's opposite spectrum to everything, right?
Get out of my living room. Okay.
But that's what 2020 was really about, and bringing us back to our bodies, bringing us back home, which is the 4. The 4 is home. The 4 gave us the ability to sort of be okay with being stuck in a box, where we were okay, not great, but we were okay with staying home, with playing by the rules, with wearing masks, and with doing those things. And moving into 2021, we're already starting to see this happen. Usually the year actually begins October, November. We're already starting to see the 5 come in, and the 5 wants freedom more than anything else. So if you've noticed any anti-mask rallies in your neighborhood, that's because the 5 is coming in and people are saying, I don't want to play by the rules anymore. I don't want to be on lockdown anymore. I want to go and do all the things I want to do. I want to be free. So people are starting to push back against the rules. And we're seeing that happen. We've seen it happen over the last couple of months. The 5 wants safety as well. But now that we've come home to ourselves, we've got these new routines in place. We realize we don't need to be quite as busy. We can stay home and be okay with that. The 5 says, okay, now where are you cultivating your safety? Are you cultivating that safety from an external experience in the political system that no longer works, in the healthcare system that's obviously crumbling, in the educational system that's not working because all our kids need to be at home? Or are you cultivating a sense of safety from within? Are you going inside your own body and telling yourself day after day after day, no matter what happens, I am safe. I am always safe. My safety is cultivated from within. I feel safe. And that's what's really going to come in 2021 in a big way. Trust is going to be important. Trust in yourself to make decisions for yourself. The news isn't going to give you a very good indication of what decisions to make.
Has it ever?
No, it's going to get worse.
Has it ever?
Yeah.
Now, hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back just a second. Okay. freedom. You said freedom. People, because we're all feeling it, you know, we're going, there's new kinds of masks coming out every day. And we're going, when is the day you're going to say, you don't need those masks anymore? You're done. It's like, when is that going to happen? Is it going to ever happen? Are we going to be like those movies where we always have to wear masks when we go outside? So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about freedom. I want to talk about, you know, what's going to happen. Like, people have this idea that January 1st is going to hit, you know, New Year's is going to flip a switch. And then all of a sudden it's like, you know, Disney World, everybody's happy and it's the happiest day on earth. So, and you have an opinion about what New Year's Day actually means and when that is. So let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We're going to talk about freedom and what is New Year's Day.
Hey, I have a quick question for you. Do you want a professional agency to handle all your video creation, syndication, and monetization needs? We totally understand that new leads and customers are the lifeblood for any business. And if you're looking to grow or scale your business, using video is definitely the best way to go. Here at Melrose 11, we specialize in getting you the results you need to help you grow your business by generating new leads, driving more traffic, and closing more sales without breaking your bank. Did you know, according to HubSpot, having a well-targeted video on your landing page can increase conversions by up to 80%? Yeah, and up to 64% of users are more likely to buy a product online after watching video than by text alone. And that 92% of mobile users share videos with others. And 90% of users say that videos are helpful in their purchase decision making. Incorporating video into your marketing and social media activity is no longer an option, it's an absolute requirement if you're looking for long-term success. Heck, it may even be essential for the very survival of a business. Here at Melrose 11, media truly is our passion. We create animated explainer videos, social teasers, catchy intros, full HD commercials, and even viewer interactive videos. So, if you're looking to elevate your brand, or attract more leads, generate more sales, increase traffic, or build up more exposure for your business, then you've definitely come to the right place. Our professional team will develop your video campaigns at an affordable price, with our fast turnaround times, and a quality of work that can't be beat.
Hi, are you a business owner, an entrepreneur, or starting your own business and wish you had an opportunity to sit down with an expert in your field? Well, check your local listings and watch Expert Talk with Tigo. I'm Tigo, and I'll talk to you very soon. We went to a break talking about this 4-letter word called freedom, or freedom. Mm-hmm. Are we doing it? Is it going to happen? Will January 1st be that new year that January 2nd we're free? What do you mean, Cindy?
Yeah. Well, this brings me to the key theme of 2021 is evolution. The 5 wants us to evolve into what's next. And in order to do that, we need to let go of some previous concepts and beliefs and thoughts and things that we've been carrying with us for a long time that are no longer working. So January 1st is not going to be this magic pill where all of a sudden we're like, we're free. We're actually not even going to really understand what that means until September. So there's a couple of different layers to this. So I want to make sure that I'm not leading people down too many rabbit holes here. But collectively, January 1st is what we call a new year. So society believes that that's our new year. Right. But based on your date of birth, if you're born in June or August or October, your new year actually begins on your birthday. So everybody says, oh, it's time to set New Year's resolutions and this is going to be my year. But if you were born in June and you're all of a sudden interrupting and setting New Year's resolutions in January, you're interrupting your own rhythm and your own pattern, which makes it really hard. And you're likely not actually hitting those New Year's resolutions or those goals. So it's important to remember that even though collectively we're experiencing a new year, there's people born on every day of the year. And so depending on where you're born, when you were born, you need to pay attention to that too. And if you were born...
Before you go further, hold on. Before you go any further, I'm going to cut you off and I apologize. But I know people are watching it and they're going, wait a minute, did she just say my new year is my birthday? You know, which makes perfect sense because it is your new year. You know, I'm 57, but I'm living in my 58th year. You want to piss somebody off when they're over 50, tell them that they're in the next year. And no, they're not. What are you talking about? It's like, look, 0 to 1 was a year. So
Yeah.
you're now building your 58th year. I understand that. Okay.
Yeah.
But you're telling us that, yeah, celebrate, have fun with your friends, do whatever you're going to do. Well, in COVID, do it safely,
Yes.
But in reality, those New Year's resolutions, if you do them at all, you should be doing it on your birthday. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. When you land on your birthday, that's when you start thinking about, what do I want to achieve this year? What do I want to do for myself, for my business this year? How do I want to show up this year? How do I want to feel this year? And you do that on your birthday. I do encourage a little bit of it around January because collectively we're experiencing that energy anyways. But if you've set intentions for your year and you're a June baby, and then in January, you just interrupt that whole rhythm, then you're never actually achieving what you set out to do on your birthday.
Okay.
So
I never looked at it that way. That's pretty amazing. And before we get into the next one, I know you have lots more to tell, and I'm so happy you're here. But if somebody wants to know more about how to do this, can they contact you? Can, the information we got going across the bottom of the screen or below the screen, is it okay if they reach out to you and say, hey, Cindy, my birthday's in August. What does this mean? You have programs in place that you can help people get a better understanding, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. From my website, they can access a self-mastery sandbox, which gives you the ability to kind of calculate some of those numbers yourself. Doesn't give you personal access to me, but it can give you a kind of a step into it if you're new to it. And then from there, there's lots of different ways to work with me privately or in group programs where I dive into this stuff quite a bit. This is I live and breathe this.
So you don't have to you and I, they don't know this looking at this. We could be next door. They have no idea. But I'm actually in Vegas in the United States and you're actually in Canada.
Yep.
So you don't have to be in the United States or you don't have to be in Canada to access your services. It isn't, well, if you live in Europe, New Year's Day is New Year's Day. It isn't your birthday. It doesn't matter where you are on the planet, right?
Yeah.
Numerology and everything that you're talking about applies to people all over the world, correct?
Yes, I work with global clients. I work with Australians a lot. It doesn't matter where in the world you are. The math is the math. It's that simple. So yeah, the other piece to this too is I kind of want to lean into this evolution idea. Most of us believe that, once COVID is over and the 2020 fiasco has come to an end, that there's going to be this a return to normal. And that's simply not the case. And I'm not saying this to scare anybody or to freak anybody out, but what's happening is, as a society, as humanity, we are evolving. We're evolving into a new level of consciousness or awakening. There's lots of different words we can use for this. I don't want to get too woo-woo on anybody, but there are certain waves of frequency waves that are coming through the universe that are helping us to up level and evolve, which means that our minds are evolving, the thoughts we think, the beliefs we carry, which means that for a lot of people, it's going to be very challenging. I remember when I went through my awakening, it was hard. You got to look at a lot of the beliefs. You got to let go of a lot of things. It can be really challenging, especially if there's attachment or anything like that. But what's happening is more and more and more and more people are awakening to what's real. They're awakening to the illusion that our reality, our foundation, our systems that we had in place aren't working, and we're awakening to that. So we're going to really start noticing that in 2021. 2020 was kind of the introduction to it. 2021 is kind of going to smack us in the face with it. Now, that I'm not saying that to scare anybody. I'm saying that because there's hope. There is absolutely hope.
So that was my next question.
There will be a day when we don't have to wear masks anymore. There will be a day where we have political systems that work for us, that we can land into, we can have live events, we'll be able to socialize again. All of this will happen again, but it's going to look a little different. It's going to feel a little different. We're going to come at it from a different perspective. And really, over the course of the next 10 years, we're going to be experiencing this evolution. And this 2021 is kind of the beginning of that evolution. So there's 4 key months in 2021 to really pay attention to, January being one of them. So January 2021, there's an energy coming in that is of karmic nature. Now, karma, whatever you want to call it, there's lots of different definitions for karma, but what's happening is collectively, we are clearing out old energy and inviting in new energy. That's really the basis of it. So January, we're going to feel that. And a lot of people are going to think, oh, 2021, it's like this magic switch. We're going to be feeling amazing. And we might not in January. It might get harder before it gets easier. The other month to pay attention to is April. April has that same energetic influence to it of this karmic clearing, where we're going to notice things coming to the surface, where we're going to have some of the illusions going to be clearer for us, where we're going to start seeing, oh, wait a second, that politician's been lying this whole time. There's going to be a lot of this coming out. And then July and October are the same to us too. So in July and October especially, October is going to be our sneak preview of 2022. So in October, every year in October is the month energy carries the same energy as the year. So we land into the 5 energy in 2021, but we don't experience a 5 energy month until October, which means that we're not even going to really understand what 2021 is until October.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Same thing with 2022. Well, we've noticed that in 2020 as well, right? In 2020, we were all like, oh my God, new decade, it's going to be amazing. And then March came and we're like, what just happened? And in June, we're all like, I'm going to kill somebody because I just need to get out of my house. And then midsummer, we're like, what's happening? And then September, October came along and we're like, oh yeah, I kind of see what's going on here. All right. Right. So it's going to be the same every year. September, October, every year we start to feel what's really going on in that energetic influence. So October, September of 2021 are really going to set us up for 2022 and how we're going to experience 2022, because that year is a whole nother story.
A whole nother story.
I'll come back and talk about that another time.
Karma issues again. What do you mean a whole nother story? Okay, we're going to get into that, later on, because I don't want to jump too far ahead, and I know you have great information for that as well. But I know people have questions, and once again, I want to say, if you want to get in touch with Cindy, don't call me, because I'm learning like you guys are learning. Okay, don't call me. But if you want to get in touch with Cindy, the information's going by. And I also want to share the fact that, we just launched Show Notes. Our new magazine just launched, and you're going to be a contributing editor to Show Notes. So people will be able to see what's going on. I believe you said in a 7-week or an 8-week period, or however that's going, what's going on at the time. So as we're building our way to October, Cindy's going to be there to kind of virtually hold her hand a little bit. And if you want to know more about what she's talking about, how this works, I'm the number one naysayer. She'll tell you that. When she first came on the show, a few months back, I went, yeah, this is not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. And we've actually had a couple of private sessions since then, and she's added some light. Some of the things that I've been thinking, I'm crazy as heck and nobody else thinks this. She goes, you think this and this is why. And I went, oh, how do you know that? Oh my gosh, there it is. You said no crystal ball. And she's like, it's not crystal ball. It's part of your code. It's pretty, once you understand it, it's right in front of you. So Cindy's going to come along and show us what's right in front of us and kind of march us along the way. And she's got programs and services. So contact her. So I know I'm going to have to let you get out of here in a minute. But before I let you get out of here, is there anything we missed? Is there any little secret little nugget that didn't talk about that's coming up in 2021?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to understand about 2021 is what's happened in 2020 is moving us forward. So, however you experienced 2020, whether that was a sense of coming home to yourself or maybe just massive fear, however you experienced that, there's always the opportunity to grow into what's next. So, really feeling into what does freedom mean to me? And can I feel free even if I have to wear a mask? Can I feel free even if I'm told I can't go places? And really understanding that your freedom and your evolution and your safety and your trust is birthed from within you, not from your external circumstances. There is hope, but you must go inside to find it. We're not going to find it in the news. We're not going to find it outside of ourselves. It's only within your own heart.
Wow. Okay. So I know one question just popped in my head, and you know me, I've always got one more. You can tell me to
I
shut
love
up.
it.
I understand. But, there are parents out there, their kids have been going to school at home all over the world. And, they're feeling like it's not traditional. And what's this going to mean for my child? So I know you said we're born with this code. Is this something that a parent can call you and say, hey, how do I help my son Billy? How do I help my daughter Mary? Is there something that it can help? Because they're feeling, trapped. I mean, it was a point where, you wanted to punish a kid right now, make them go outside and play, because all they wanted to do was game and do all of that. And now that they've been inside, all they want to do is get out, you know? So is it, something that the parent can call you and say, hey, my kid is just, he is, crawling the walls. He wants to get back to being in teams and playing sports, and they're worried about graduation and all of that kind of stuff. Can they contact you for that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. You're never too old to have a chart created for you.
Well, see, and that's the other question. People are retired and it's not what they planned.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are being forced into retirement. It's not what they planned. They planned on doing another 5 years, another 10 years. And companies are restructuring. Some companies that were brick and mortar are not going back to being brick and mortar. They figured out they can do it at home, and they're forcing some of the, elders, some of the legends to, retire, to step down, to step out. And they're wondering, my plan to retire was to travel the world. The world shut down.
Yeah.
Hey, Cindy, what does this number say for me? Am I going to get to see Europe for the first time? Am I going to get to go to Africa? Is this stuff for my retirement? What I had planned, is that going to ever be able to be possible again?
Yeah, absolutely. There's two things that come up with that. Is first, it's never too late. And second, planning isn't really a thing anymore. We are actually, and I don't know if you've noticed, but time is speeding up where it feels like things happen faster and faster and faster. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, what day is it? Right?
Yeah.
I don't actually base my planning on a Monday to Friday schedule. I base my planning based on the numbers of each day, because I know that things are happening in 18-day windows. And so creating a full year plan for 2021 is going to be a waste of your time. Like, don't do it. The maximum amount of time you want to be planning ahead is like 3 or 4 months, and make it a loose plan, because things are going to change. We already know that from 2020. You can create the strongest, stablest plan in the world, and then pandemic, there goes your plan, right?
Yeah.
So yes, have a plan in place, but make sure you're not attached to the plan, because guaranteed in a 5 energy year, everything's going to change. So don't be attached to the plan. You can change it, you can adjust, you can pivot, you can kind of still go in the same direction, but it's not going to be exactly what you think it's going to be on January 1st to April 1st. It's going to change.
So if there's someone out there who wants to be a client of yours, I know you have courses, you have other educational opportunities for them to just kind of learn this. I asked you once before if you actually teach someone who wants to be you, and you said no, you have somebody you can refer them to or whatever.
Yeah.
But as people are watching this and they're going, hey, I want to be connected to Cindy, and we're putting your websites up and all that kind of stuff. Do you take on clients that are on a regular basis, that they talk to you on a regular time? Yeah. Or is it all pretty much, nope, you get one shot at me and I'm done?
No, I prefer to create those long-term relationships because understanding your numbers is an ongoing relationship. And so I prefer to work more on a consulting basis, especially with entrepreneurs. That's my market of people, is working with entrepreneurs. And I use the numbers to help you navigate, when to launch things into the online space, when to pause, when to go, when to take action, what kind of influences are you going to be experiencing, so that you'll know, okay, well, maybe in January, I'm not going to be feeling very inspired. And so I can maybe take a month off. So I worked with that in the consulting basis on how to navigate all of the energetic influences that you'll be working with. There's another little magic trick, Tigo, that I haven't told you that I do yet. So I can actually look at the relationship between two people or three people in partnerships in business or even personal relationships, and see how those two energies coming together is going to affect perhaps a business or anything like that. So if you are thinking about going into a business partnership, or you've been in partnership for some time and you're having challenges in that relationship, I can take a look at those two energies and see what's going on and help you navigate that relationship as well. Or even tell you if it's a good idea to partner with somebody or not.
So now I'm mad at you, because it's like you come in here and you always drop this little bomb like towards the end of the show, and I go, we should have been talking about that in the first place. But it's okay.
I'll be back.
I said, she'll be back. She's a member of the family, and she's a contributing editor to the magazine. So you guys, you'll be able to get into that. We'll do another episode later on down the road where we'll actually just talk about that little tidbit that she, really? You tell that now at the end of the show? I'm going to get hate mail. Look, don't send it to me. We will make sure we get that information. Okay, like I said, she's coming back, y'all. It's going to happen. Now, if you're watching this show on January 2nd, 2021, you may be watching it in 2035, okay? But if you're watching it in 2021 on January 2nd, on January 4th, you know how we do. She's coming on. She's going to do a live stream with us. We're going to be a little bit earlier. We're going to do it at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And that's when you get to ask her your questions. So make sure you come on to the live stream, go to the Expert Talk page on Facebook or YouTube and click in 9 a.m. Pacific, and you get to ask Cindy, because don't send me your question. Don't say, hey, Tigo, next time you talk to Cindy, ask her to, no. See, you either contact her by all the information we provided, or you come on to the live stream and say, hey, Cindy, I want you guys to hashtag, hey, Cindy, and ask her what's going on with this or that with your question. Because I know I asked some pretty good questions. I try to think of what everybody wants to know, but Tigo's human and I can't think of everything. So as you sitting there yelling at the screen going, why didn't you ask her this? Why didn't you know that? Well, hello, you come ask her. January 4th, 9 a.m. Pacific, we will be live with Cindy and you can ask her what you want to ask her. Now, before I let you out of that hot seat, is there anything you'd like to share real quick that we may not have covered yet?
Just know that it's all going to be okay. Humanity's not coming to an end. The world's not coming to an end. Everything is going to be okay. There is a purpose behind all of this, whether it seems that way or not. And there is hope. Absolutely.
Hey, Cindy, I always appreciate you coming on to the show and hanging out with us and just sharing. I can't wait till you come back, especially you just dropped this thing about partners, and there's hate mail coming. I know people are saying, why did you ever talk about that? If you guys are watching this on the live shows, you already know I'm restricted to 28 and a half minutes by the network, not 29, not 27. They get really upset if I'm not right at 28 and a half. So I'm going to tell you right now, we went into almost 40 minutes. So you did miss some. Go to the member area of show notes. Go and check out the website because it's out there. The full interview is out there. And if you don't want to go and do that, make sure you come back for the live stream on Monday and ask your questions. Cindy, it's always educational. It's always fun. It always makes me go at least twice when you're on. You are an amazing force. I'm so glad you're part of our inner circle. And I thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always an honor.
All right, I promised you information on the 2021. I promised you that Cindy was going to come in here and drop a few nuggets and a few bombs and tell us what's coming up. I didn't hear anything really super negative. I heard that, it's going to take time. Well, heck, we knew that before. But I did hear sunshine in what she was saying, that we're going to get there, that we got to be open to the fact that what our normal is a new normal. So I think the key to what Cindy was trying to share today was be open-minded, be flexible, be understanding, be caring, be good humans. I know it's hard to do, especially when you're trapped in a house. Trust me, I know I'm doing this in my room, but we can do it. I'm Tigo, and I'll talk to you next time.